All right, good guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for December 7th, 2023. Good day in the research workshop today. We had Phil Wu and Sundeep gave us great insights into EdgeRater, backtesting, the accountability group, the users group for Thinkorswim, their research program for that squad of guys. And Sundeep showed us an outstanding 11-point checklist for making the transition to professional trader with making great progress already, and then a coaching session to get him set up for the next 3 months. Really well done. And then good discussion on exit strategies, to our battle drill, and the foundations Q&A that we just completed. Tomorrow, Griff Cooper has 3 different briefings he's going to cover starting at noon. Jim Carroll from 3 to 4 looking at volatility swing systems that are modeled after the PRX. So you're going to want to catch those. This weekend, Tom Hardison is briefing on Saturday, and along with Kyun, and then Hamad on Sunday. So a full plate for this weekend, and making good progress. All right, let's go to the hybrid swing, starting as always with Alcoa, 30-minute charts. That was yesterday's sell-off. Today took a collapsing dragon, exited at the skin of the dragon in the usual way for +1. It closed nicely, so I'm going to be ready tomorrow for this to make a little recovery run back to 25.75, and I'll also be ready for continuity short back to support. And if that breaks, it could be a big move down, but I don't expect to hold that one overnight, regardless of the direction that it trades. So I'm looking at that as a tactical trade. AI, trade of the day. So we talked yesterday about the weak earnings, and we got initially a short here, which closed right here, and we had a buffer of 3R in hand. And we decided to hold it because we had that cushion and because the earnings were looking weak. And it responded with an additional 10R gap down, which we cashed, and then we stalked it, but it never really moved out of the shell shock. So this is back on our long-term stalking, but this is a case where 13R in 2 days on something that we've been trading actively and been staying in touch with as far as their earnings and the forecasts and all that other stuff. That's a case where a little bit of due diligence certainly paid off. Amazon, Kata 2 for 1R. Caterpillar, no trade. Cliff, no trade. CVS, a Kata 2 for 2R in the usual way. Disney, Kata 2 for a half an R. Dish Network. Emerging Dragon, holding 2R over the weekend. It closed at the height of the day, so we're liking that one. We're going to hold that one over the overnight. Devon Energy, short on a 1-2-3 owl, and half an R. No real damage there. This was a nice one in Electronic Arts. This was a pocket entry, an owl entry, and it just collapsed all day for 3R. And took it as a gift. Emerging markets, Kata 2, fraction, Ethereum. This was a perfect Kata 2 entry, and holding it overnight for 3R. After the nice long run up on cash, it sold off the rest of the day yesterday. This morning, gapped down, then reversed higher, speculated in, and it rewarded. EWW Mexico. Standard short for an R. Brazil, Standard long caught a 2 for a scratch, or standard short, I should say, for a scratch. Intel, SSC, standard risk, half an R, betting on tech for tomorrow. That's Intel on sale. IP, no trade. 2 days in sideways quiet channel. It's ready to break out. Real estate. Yesterday's short, I maintained it through the day. The fact that it didn't recover, I decided to hold it one more day. We'll see how that goes. I was really tempted to get out of that with an R in hand, but imprudent. Caught a 2, fractional loss, or fractional gain, I should say. KRE just covered the short and no follow through. Not enough to get back in. Mattel scratched. McDonald's lost an R on a 1, 2, 3 entry that immediately failed. Merck gap down and drop. When it got below this big thick red line that we talked about yesterday, I decided to commit to the short side and hold that overnight. So it's holding 3R as a nice cushion. Microsoft trying the Kata 2 long for an R. Marijuana, no trade. Nvidia covered the short for an R. Clean energy. Yesterday's 1, 2, 3 short. Just kind of marked time today. I'm going to give it one more day because energy was weak. PBW. That was PBW. This is Rivian. Come on, Rivian. This is Rivian, Kata 2, holding a little over an R. It closed pretty strongly during the day. Treasuries are looking toppy. Tesla, no trade, missed the morning hook. Walmart, the slide continues, got short on the pocket entry. Thought about a second entry on this collapsing dragon from here. Decided just to hold one and hold that overnight. It's at 4R, so we have a bit of a cushion. And U.S. Steel. And U.S. Steel, no trade. But just a couple sniper trades of the day. This was the early morning send on AI. Again, we had the short in the usual way that gave us a 3R cushion. We used that to hold out based on the bad news about its earnings. It gave an additional 10R sell, or gave a total 10R sell-off, stalking it the rest of the day, but there was no movement after the shell shock. Then in Ethereum, this was a 4-day 10R trade on the long side, and yesterday we cashed it and it sold off, and this morning gave a morning hook and entered as a Kata 2 on the 30-minute chart, and that gave us a perfect Kata 2 pattern. And then in the afternoon, as it was approaching back to the dragon, I decided to cash 2.2, so really happy with that one. All right, let's find the traders. All right, in the for the traders, all right, so George takes the OR3 long. It sells off for minus 1.1. This thing is 1R in the positive, and we let it come back to lose 0.3. This should be a stop and reverse. and we should have made about 2.5. There was probably 2.5R on that move. There's nothing wrong with these. It was just choppy and sideways all day. This one I think may have been over trading, even though it did pay off. But this made the difference today, not taking that trade. Ilker, let's see, let me zoom this in a little bit. This desire to keep this, it was this far down, it came back here. We should be re-entering right away, and then this pays off 1.5R. Quick cut. This is a 1, 2, 3 entry. I don't mind that. I think the stop is too tight for 1R, because your signal to get out should be down here. So if you're getting out here, I don't think that should be a full 1R. That should be about 0.7. I like this short. You cut it, then waited to get short here. Now, if you'd quick cut, we'd have been all right. But, okay, you got a bad fill. Understandable. Good short. We're late on this short, and then we gave back too much. This thing should be cut somewhere in here. Missing the alert made this a painful day. And then not taking that one made it a painful day. So with best practice, we should have been a micro win on this one today. That's probably too tight on check the size of your MMRB there. Those look too tight for Amazon, to be honest, because I think it's making you too jumpy in here. This is over trading. Listen to the Research Weekend talking about the afternoon trade and why this is an opportunity. Listen to Sundeep's debriefing. This is good work in here, no problems. This is Kyle. Perfect. I think you stuck around too long on this one. I think the second time that it reversed against you, like from here, it reversed and then came in the money and then reversed again. I think that's where the PSAR is. I think you want to get out here. It had two chances to fail. It only failed. It didn't fail, and then it only failed a little. So I think that's a better exit. This is good patience, good trade. Here's a COTA 2. There's a COTA 2. There's a COTA 2. So there was some opportunities in there later in the day. That's a reasonable effort. I would rather, this is a case where I would rather scratch than take even a 0.2. There's your shot. Crossing the VWAP, so it couldn't make a new high. It's violating the lower band of the PSAR and the RL10 and the VWAP. That's a natural one for me. This COTA 2 feels natural. Yeah, let's see here. Reasonable SSC. Here's support. Here's support. There's your SSC. It wants to go here. When this fails, I think you got to cut that here. Maybe this is a bad fill, but that's about where you want to be short anyway. And then you wouldn't lose money on that one. And then I think That would be tempting on the SSC right there, with a nice tight stop here or here, and then that should pay you. This is good restraint. That's not violent enough of a harsh winter to justify an SSC, so that's good discipline. Yeah, this 10-day range is abnormally pinched, and this just got tighter already. Notice that the 30-day range is the same as the 150-day range. That's how amazing that move was. So this feels abnormally pinched, but it's just in comparison to that kind of move. The fact that it has not failed is something. Strength in the market everywhere you look. Nothing really noticeable there. The auto framers, as things compress, as daily ranges compress, now you start to see more things testing out well on the auto framer. Oil, Procter & Gamble, commodities, Pfizer, Material. So there's Microsoft is the first one that looks interesting. I think I'd target that one in Goldman. And speaking of the devil, Goldman Sachs at very tight squeeze and a favorable auto framer. Goldman looks good. Tesla looks pretty good at 1.7 as well. So tomorrow is a tactical trade. I'm expecting it to be quiet going into the weekend, but there could be some tactical shenanigans. I mean, I'm going to be looking at AI as an oversold panic sell-off and a chance to get back in at a better price for a longer-term swing. And I like Microsoft again. Let's see what else we got here. The slide in Walmart is troubling. I'm 2 days into the short, but it just feels odd, and I'm going to be watching that close to get out of that trade. I'm just nervous about my short position there. Yeah. All right, that's everything for today. More work tomorrow for the research weekend. Great stuff there. If you're not a student, you really ought to consider it. Some amazing work from Sundeep today and from Phil Wu. Phil Wu's presentation was worth the price of admission, and a very persuasive sales argument for the backtesting power of EdgeRaider. All right, guys, that's all I got. We'll catch you tomorrow.